Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Fashion Cafe, and today we're going to be talking about fake fashion, designer imitations, and designer-inspired pieces. Let's get started.
Fashion, it's Evelina's Fashion Cafe. Woo!
So it has been brought to my attention a couple times, both in my videos and on my Instagram, because I do like to post outfits on Instagram and things like that, and I'm not doing this to defend myself. I understand that a lot of people don't fully acknowledge or understand the difference between those types of things, but that's why I'm doing this video, because I wanted to share kind of my take on it and some of the research that I did. Let's start with the fact that I have this little purse right here that is actually inspired by the original flap by Chanel, and it does have the kilted design as well as the chain, iconic chain handle. And I have put a couple outfits on my Instagram, and some people were saying wow, you have a fake Chanel purse, that is so not nice of you, and things like that. And I just wanted to say that there's a really big difference between that. This would have been considered a fake Chanel purse if it had a Chanel logo on it, or it would have said Chanel anywhere in it, and it doesn't. The only thing that this particular piece does is it imitates, or it is inspired by the original design. So the difference between that is, as long as a store or a designer or a particular line is not putting the actual designer name on the piece, yet they are kind of stealing their design, it is considered acceptable in the fashion world. Unfortunately, most designers aren't protected in that way, and I'm personally, as a jewelry designer, I'm a little bit concerned about that, because anybody can just go and steal my designs as long as they don't put Pinkberry on it. It is essentially considered okay. But how far is this actually considered okay? Because a lot of people, they don't realize that actually, most of the clothing and most of the accessories and purses and shoes and all of that they can find at stores like Forever 21, H&M, Zara, and a lot of those stores are actually inspired by designers. And a lot of them are so much so inspired that they're pretty much identical, except that they just don't have the designer tag name. To me personally, I would never cross a boundary between buying a purse that or anything that is claiming to be that particular designer, because that is exactly when you're going into ripping off that designer name and taking away from their income, because you are thinking you are buying their piece and it's not real. I never fully understand why people go into purchasing fake fashion, Chanel things that looks like a Chanel bag. I personally think it is totally okay buying something that it's inspired, yet it doesn't have the logo on it, where somebody asks you is that a Chanel purse, girl? And you're just gonna be like, yeah, I bought it for $3,000 at Neiman Marcus, And there's a big difference saying girl, got this on dailylook.com, got a great deal, looks great, don't need to spend none of that money. So there's a big difference between that. Another example I have right here is this purse from JustFab, and it is entirely inspired by Hermes. And this particular style has been copied and overcopied in the fashion world so many times. It is a very popular bag, but again, it was initially invented and designed and crafted by Hermes. And this is not necessarily, just taking a really famous design can be considered, like a flaw that you're trying to purchase a fake designer items. Actually around us, in all of these inexpensive stores, pretty much 90% of their stuff is inspired by high-end designers. So that's just definitely something to consider in mind before, looking at other people and saying wow, she's all fake. As long as there's not a particular logo that says that that's a fake Louis Vuitton. Speaking of Louis Vuitton, this is the #1 most counterfeit bag in the world ever. So anytime I see somebody walking around with a Louis Vuitton, unless I personally know them, it's just to me it's a 50% chance whether it's real or not. That's why I'm just kind of holding off to if I'm gonna invest in some high-end designer pieces, I'm just kind of holding off investing in a really popular designer piece, because those are usually the most counterfeit items. So if you are planning on investing anytime soon and purchasing something for yourself that is a high-end designer, I would recommend buying a design that's not as mainstream, is not as popular, because it might kind of give the appearance of a fake purse or a fake shoe. I wouldn't be too worried about that, because usually people that are pretty knowledgeable, they can right away tell if something's fake or not. Usually there are some very high quality replicas. You sometimes can't can't tell. Like sometimes I'm not gonna, like, studying people, looking at them like, oh girl, that is a fake Louis Vuitton. You know, I'm not doing that. But usually it's pretty out there. It's pretty clear that it's fake, and you don't want to embarrass yourself. I'm not gonna lie. In the past, I've been tempted of buying like a fake Marc Jacobs or something because I really like the design. But then just the fear of like somebody knowing that I bought a fake purse, that I'm like, it's kind of like I'm walking around with a lie on my shoulder. I'm like, oh, look at my $2,000 Marc Jacobs purse that I bought on eBay for $100. To me, it's like ethically, just from that perspective, is not okay. And also going into the fact that, you know, Marc Jacobs sat in his office desk working hard, long hours trying to design this wonderful bag. It's just not cool. So yeah. So definitely, if you can't afford designer bags, there are so many sources out there, and not just bags, you know, shoes, accessories, clothes, jackets. There's so many sources out there. They have designer inspired pieces, and that is completely acceptable. That is completely okay to buy designer inspired things. On the opposite side, buying things that appear to be designer, but they're not, that's a very big difference. So that's all I wanted to talk about to you guys. I hope that this video made sense. Let me know if you have any requests for future Fashion Cafe. I would love to speak to you about topics like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely keep up with me on Twitter and Instagram. I will link those down below, and I will see you in my next video. I love you guys. Bye! Moisturizing sheet mask that she had in the store, and she said that these were really great, and I just said that I'm gonna have to trust her because I can't read what's on the packet, obviously. I tried this one yesterday. There's 4 in here, and these were about $15 or something like that.